Hey guys, another old time receiver that I took out from my collection, using them a little bit. So this one is a clock radio, and it actually has an alarm, turns on the radio at a certain time, which is very interesting for the period. So you just choose what time you want the radio to start and put it on automatic here. And actually the radio turns on, it's like a switch, two little metal things that touch each other and makes contact, which turns the radio on, which is very nice for the time. So this is an RCA Victor. What is there a number or a model number here? I don't see it in the back. So this is what the back looks like. Actually, this is also another interesting thing. It has a plug right here, which is a AC outlet for any other devices, and it says maximum 1100,000 watts. So here, this receiver actually has a plug to connect any other appliance. So it really was thought of, and was kind of a receiver made for being in the kitchen. So let's turn it on, see if it works. I haven't used this device in about a year, and well, the clock still works. That's the good thing. You actually hear the little clock of the mechanism inside.
My parents were artists. They were consumed by their
working.
passion.
Little buzzing sound. Buzzing is usually because of either a bad diode filter, a diode tube that can be going haywire, so it doesn't filter the current correctly. It can also be a shorted capacitor inside the receiver. So the buzzing sound actually makes me think that this receiver probably needs a little maintenance here. So let's see. This is of course, medium wave only set. Receives from 550 to 1600 kilohertz, like pretty much all the receivers back then. This is somewhere in the 1960s, I would guess. Tube receivers, plastic tube receivers of this type were common up to the early 70s, or when transistor radios actually started appearing and getting all the attention. So let's tune around the medium wave band and see how this receiver is performing. It's evening, so hopefully we'll get some American stations also on this radio, and I'll be comparing what we receive with my Grundig 450 S450, so that we know what frequency we're tuning in, because the problem here is that you can't really have much precision on this little dial. So let's see what we can hear.
Anything, just because I know Westall in practice do a lot of that kind of stuff, work with the referee or penalties and things. And I think Westall had a good feel for that stuff. I'm wondering if the Westall style and everything is not.
This is 660 kilohertz. So this weak station is from actually New York. So this is a sports station from New York on 660 kilohertz.
If Geno Smith stays healthy, even if he has a few more picks, even if he, they don't win every game, because they're not going to win every game, it's hard for me to imagine Mark Sanchez playing another snap for the Jets. Do you have a counter to that?
I agree with you. I would say if Geno plays like he has in these first 3 games, there's no reason to think that they would go away from him. But
if you learn to know, we see the touchdowns around the both teams have been and Paul McLean not too happy on the bench with the way.
This is 690 kilohertz, the sports station here in Montreal.
Today, obviously, but nothing crazy, nothing that warm. Here's Corvo with it. Back to the right point. Carlson is here over to Corvo. Corvo fires, blocked in front by the skate of Dietz, and the puck gets cleared to the corner. Mark MacArthur will send it around back to the net. On the right side.
140, mais c'est direction en est et en ouest, c'est bel et bien installé.
This is 730 kilohertz, our local
demain, ça devait débuter à midi.
traffic information station.
Non, ça devait débuter à 20h. Non, c'est correct. C'est correct. C'est dans l'heure. C'est dans l'heure. Non, ce qui doit débuter à minuit, c'est la 440. Mais donc, avant de parler de la 440, 640, donc dans les deux directions, à Mascouche-Terrebonne, de la montée du Mai à la montée des Pionniers, de la montée des Pionniers jusqu'à la montée du Mai.
Majority government, but without the same ethnic votes, they will never get a country. That's from Christos.
Is,
interesting, I think, to a certain extent, that maybe
800 kilohertz, our local English talk station on 800 kilohertz AM. CJ80.
It was highly offensive, but it was true, and he was right about that. And they know it's true, and they know that a measure like this is going to force, you know, many ethnic Quebecers to reconsider and or to flat out leave.
Well, I think that's always basically the strategy. I mean, the old joke about we're the last one to leave, please turn out the lights. I mean, the modern update would be we're the last Anglo or immigrant to leave, please throw the keys to those remaining and they can go start a country.
Sure, and you know, we see the data, of course. Francophones are a bit more open to the charter than minorities and than Anglophones. Although I'd like to think that most Quebecers in general have a bit more sense than to go around wanting you know, people to remove their kippas and hijabs just because it doesn't look right. It doesn't look neutral enough for.
The guys were sick. They'd go hide so no one would find out.
The 2-1 has popped up to shallow left. Coming in and making the nice catch is Joyce. Joyce came in late and had a
This is 880 WCBS in New York.
An old pitcher I know who pitched in the 60s for the Red Sox, and he told me once that he had 104 fever and he went and hid in the bullpen because he didn't want the manager to find out and lose his spot in the rotation.
I believe it. Absolutely believe it. So, a member of those 27 Yankees obviously had 8 names, but he didn't mention it. Right, but
With Don Corman, I don't think you're sending Paul a Christmas card after listening to that interview.
Well, no, I'm not taking any of this personally. I think he was just trying to give us a lay of the land, which I think you would agree with.
That's 930 kilohertz.
I thought it was interesting listening to that interview because it was exactly what I referred to in recent days. But I'm not saying you should accept it or not accept it, but it's not what I think a lot of a serious candidate for the mayor's position. Jack Wagner, serious candidate. And then have them then deal with A.J. Green.
1020 kilohertz AM, an American station probably.
And now you're looking at what's happening with Josh, and come on. This is the best we've got. Even Jim Roddy, the executive for the Republicans in Allegheny County, the chair for the party, he's not good at this. Because Josh is making a mockery of it. Said he didn't know how Wander could be abroad and run a campaign. Well, I don't know either. Can any of you still vote for Josh? Any of you? I realize that there are some diehard Republicans.
First head or first stick to the head or a knee to the head. Why not a bare knuckle to the head? And you know what? Deep down, the league knows of this hypocrisy.
This is 1050 kilohertz AM. You also hear a Spanish language station at the same time.
It was after Todd Fedoruk had his face punched in, literally broke half his face in a fight, and everyone was quite worried for Fedoruk's health. And I quoted Hamill saying, maybe it's time we asked the question.
See alternating signals from the U.S., probably both U.S. stations, one in Spanish and one in English.
I do believe that
from Colin Campbell to Gary Bettman, you know, to Bill Daly, to people in both the New York and Toronto offices. You know, the hope is that it just, you know, especially the lugheads, you can't escape. It just kind of...
Never turn back. I don't want my fellow man to go astray. I want to encourage you, dear friend, whoever you are today, whatever trouble you may be having in life,
1170 kilohertz AM.
All your trials, if you want to write to me, yes, and not my brother speaking, yes, you can write to me. I'll be happy to pray for you. I really care about you. I care about where you're going to spend eternity. I really do care. It matters to me. It matters to my friends.
So just as it was prophesied by Daniel, the prophecy was fulfilled in AD 37. And Jesus was baptized and anointed.
That's 1220 kilohertz AM. I'm sorry, but I don't know what these stations are. I don't tune a lot the medium wave, so I'm not sure of some of the stations.
After the 62 weeks, the Messiah shall be cut off, which means he will die because of divine penalty.
Dentro de ese cómo, así rápidamente quiero decir, tenemos que hacer un análisis.
This is 1280 kilohertz AM, local ethnic station here in Montreal.
Verificar bien sobre el caso X que estamos queriendo saber o tomar esa decisión. Hacer un análisis, pero
laquelle se montait encore à plus de 5 millions de francs suisses à la fin de 2010. Cette fortune est bloquée en Suisse depuis 2002 par décision du Conseil fédéral.
This is our
et consorts ont contesté le blocage.
Asian station on 1410 kilohertz. The one that was before CJWI, they were on 1610 before. They moved to 1410 with a higher power. From Saint-Constant, Québec.
Prononcé en 2002, le blocage des fonds.
1450 kilohertz, our ethnic Arabic station in Montreal, 1450 kilohertz.
514-336-80-450-682-53-83. ميرسي لكم أعزائي. شكرا لك وشكرا سميرة لك. أعزائي المستمعين، الفقرة القادمة لازم تكونوا معنا، رح تكون
help you get what you're for. That's sharing the road to the nth degree. That's Northtown.
This is Buffalo's home for The Herd with Colin Cowherd, 10 to 1 on ESPN 1520.
ESPN 1520 kilohertz, I believe from New York, or I'm not sure, but I think so.
N'est-ce pas extraordinaire? Il me dit, inquiétez-vous.
This is 1570 kilohertz AM from Laval, Quebec, about, I would say about 30 kilometers away from my home.
Oh, je ne pars ma job, je ne pars mon travail, qu'est-ce que je dois faire? J'ai une famille à faire vivre, puis là, on a des responsabilités, on a des paiements à faire, on a des dettes, on a des... Dieu voit tout ça, puis il sait.
Actually not. I'm sorry, I misled you. Even though it stops at 1600, we're on 1650 kilohertz actually. This is a station for the Jewish community here in Montreal. So this is 1650 kilohertz, sorry.
Inquiétez-vous donc point. Ne dites pas que mangerons-nous, de quoi serons-nous vêtus, de quoi boirons-nous. Il dit ça là, c'est les païens qui ont ces pensées-là. Pourquoi les païens ont ces pensées-là?
and it stops pretty much here because I can't really move it farther. So it goes up to about 1650 kilohertz, slightly more than the others that I've tried. So that was tuning around of this RCA Victor radio, an American 5. That's another American 5 receiver with clock and with automatic clock. So it's pretty amazing for the time. Hope you enjoy these views of old receivers, and thanks for watching 73s.